Hello, this is Robert Smith. I'm here in Australia along the Great Ocean Road, just outside of Apollo Bay. And I'd like to share, just some of my experiences this last couple of days. Just got news that my Aunt Ruth Ada, she had a stroke and she died. There's all kinds of thoughts that goes through my head when something happens like that. First thing I thought of was, the last time I saw her, which actually I was at my grandmother's house, and Ruth came to pick her up to take her to church. And of course, a lot of things go through our minds when stuff like this happens, The nice thing is, for Ruth, it was very fast, very easy, I guess, And the second thing that comes to my mind is that it was, thoughts about her, and then, emotions. Because I'm here in Australia, and I can't really just go back to the U.S. It's too expensive, and I have obligations here as well. Logically, I know that, my age, older you get, your family members, your moms and your aunts and your uncles, grandparents, they all begin to transition, go to the next grade, to the next level. And we all die. That's just a part of life. It's what you do with it, because I lay there thinking about different things and about, the positive influence that she's been on her life. And, people ask me, well, how long should a person grieve, And I always say, as long as you think a child should grieve, if it's 5 days or a year or 10 years, the grieving process, I feel, should last as long as you think a child should suffer with it, which means as short as possible. That doesn't mean that, doesn't mean that it will take a while. Doesn't mean it won't take a while. It will. But the nice thing is when, with the FasterEFT mindset, we're all going to die. That's a part of life. And I started noticing what I was thinking about her death, I thought about, God, I wish we would have spent more time with her, or, she had high blood pressure, and, somebody said, well, couldn't you help her with high blood pressure? I said, yes, of course I could. High blood pressure, you can tap, and you can release the emotions around this, blood pressure, and it would prolong your life, but, she didn't tap, I can't, just like, what I teach works, it's effective, and everybody has the right to use it or not. I don't condemn them or try to force feed them, make anybody do it, because it's an option. We all have the choice to do whatever we want to do. So, that'd be nice if everybody just embraced it, and just, because tapping, FasterEFT style, it's a self-maintenance program. It gives you control over your emotions. It helps you be at peace with your inner self. It helps you deal with other people. It helps you accept things that you can't change, and help you become a better person. All right, so, although my Aunt Ruth, she did die, I will always remember her, because she always had a smile on her face. She was a hugger, and she had to play a good role in my life. Very positive, and she's a hard worker, very kind-hearted. So although this is just recently, and I hadn't really been, I tap on it when I think about it. I hadn't really gone into it yet, and I will, because, I think about the impact it will have on, like, my kids, or my grandmother, or my mom, or my uncle. So, although I cannot, I can't, it'd be nice if I can just jump in there and say, hey, let's just go in there and let's just tap all this stuff out, and just accept and remember Ruth by all the great things she's done. And that's what we should do. Because, the understanding of grief is a self-induced process. There is the loss, and we imagine things about, God, I wish I would have done this, or I wish I could have done this, or I feel guilty that we had a fight, that we didn't have a fight, but I feel guilty we had a fight, or like I was doing, I was imagining, my grandmother or my children, and how they're going to deal with it because they don't tap, So, and everybody has the right to suffer. I mean, we all have the right to grieve and to suffer and to be angry and whatever else that we choose to do. It's not the best option, but we do have that right. And so, the most important thing for me is I have to tap on me. I have to tap on my emotional reaction to this whole thing. And then take ownership of what I do to me. And if I continue to do that, then what will happen is I will be a good model for people to follow, and then they too may step on board with this personal empowerment tool, But then again, we all have the right, to throw the rope back when somebody's trying to save us. And that's what we do anyway, based on our beliefs, our fears, our phobias, our emotional issues. So, my Uncle CJ had died, and I tapped through that. I feel really at peace with it. And of course, I'm thinking about, well, God, it's getting closer. Everybody's going to start dying, My grandmother, she's 85. My mother's 66. And my uncle, and, all that. So what do? You tap. You just make peace with it. Remember the good things. Let go of the bad things. So I hope that helps you. We just got to make peace with it. And as you make peace with it, everything starts to change for the better. It's just a growth process, And by the way, everybody gets to do it. So we all die. Those are the ones who lived to be 100 or more. They too had to figure out how to let go of this stuff. So when they let go of this stuff, their life starts to change. And the deal is don't take it so personal. It's not against you, but it is what you do to you that causes your own personal pain and suffering. So this is for Ruth. I love you, Ruth. Ciao.